Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. And this is the Kelly Mantle Show. Won't you come inside the Kelly Mantle studio? Do you know I never know where I am, but I always end up where I'm supposed to be? I was having lunch the other day with Faye Dunaway at Neiman Marcus at 4 on 4 in Beverly Hills. And she became very inquisitive over our Cobb salads, and she said to me, Kelly, I'm noticing a troubling trend as of late. And I said, what's that, Faye? And she said, well, I've noticed that there's a lot of people on social media who identify as actors. And I think, oh, that's wonderful. They look so intriguing. I can't wait to see their work. But as I scroll down the page, I only see them at red carpets for movies that they're not in. And she said, is this a new thing, Kelly? Are they red carpet actors? And I said, well, that's a very good question, Faye. I don't know. But then I started thinking of all the perks that go along with it, you know. First of all, it's like a dance class. It's a step and repeat, you know, so it's kind of like choreography. And then I'm sure you get one of those red colored ribbons that you get to wear and sit in an uncomfortably small VIP area that's roped off, and you get to sit there on that couch and drink your complimentary Grey Goose and dig through your gift bags. And I bet these are the same people that get to take the Actorbahn. Have you heard of that? It's these underground streets in Los Angeles that only the elite get to take. And they have Starbuckses down there. And I always wonder, well, do the employees of the Starbuckses live down in the Actorbahn, or do they live up here in civilization? And that's how we know about them. And what else do they have down in the Actorbahn? It's kind of like Barbara Streisand's mall that she has in the basement of her home in Malibu. Well, Faye and I sit there and stared at each other over our Cobb salads, perplexed. We didn't have any answers to these questions. And then our lemon tarts came, and she laughed, and I vomited. And I haven't heard from her since. Welcome to the Kelly Mantle Show. I have no idea what I'm saying at this point. Oh my gosh, today we are highly blessed and favored to have a true queen inside the Kelly Mantle studio. She is a queen with a crown. She is a charitable queen. She is a Southern belle with a dream. She is painted check, fierce check, talent check, pretty check, classy, stunning, sickening, witty ass titty tuck. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kelly Mantle Show, Angeria Paris VanMichaels.
That has to be the best intro I think I have had in my entire career.
Tammy Brown called you Angeria.
She did.
And I lived
and
for
I love
it.
that you just did, because it took me back. That has to be like one of my favorite moments of my entire
Your
drag
entire
race
career.
journey. No, seriously.
Other than winning season 9 All-Stars,
Yes!
congratulations.
Thank you.
I was just telling you when we first met at the World of Wonder event, I knew you were winning. I knew it. I knew it the minute you walked into season 14.
Because
I
you're
was like,
psychic.
she needs to win every single episode, every single season.
Because you're
amazing.
psychic.
I am.
Wow.
I am. I actually loved your song. I love that song. Do you have more music coming out?
Not at the moment, but it is something on my list. Like, it's something that I want to do.
You're
Like,
so
I want to do
good.
more music because I've been singing since I was like maybe 7 years old.
Have you really?
No, I literally have.
That's
like,
amazing.
So before drag, I wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
Like, I auditioned for the X Factor and everything. Now, they said no. They said no, but it's okay because we got a yes at Drag Race, so it's fine.
No, you're so musical because there's nothing more harmonious and melodic than a Southern dialect.
you.
You know what I mean? Tammy actually was on America's Got Talent, speaking of the X Factor, and speaking of your Tammy Brown. And she got buzzed immediately by David Hasselhoff.
Uh-huh.
She went out there and went, "Clam happy, oh yes I am. Happy as a clam, oh yes I am." Have you ever seen it?
No,
Go
but now I need to go
YouTube
watch it.
And David Hasselhoff was like, "Nah." And then like a week later, he was like on a drug binge in his hallway eating a cheeseburger on TMZ. I'm like, girl, you don't mess with Tammy Brown. She'll put a spell on you.
No, you don't. And I believe that. When I got ready to play her for Snatch Game, and we do the walk through with RuPaul, she literally was like, you sure you want to do that? She was like, she's crazy. She was like, girl, if you don't do her right, she might come looking for you. I was like, I was a little scared.
She's gonna have an Angeria voodoo doll just sitting there putting pins to you. We loved it. It was amazing. I'm sorry, but it was amazing. Okay, what were your other choices? Did you have other choices?
I did. I was gonna do. Okay, so the thing is, she was on my the last on my list.
Really?
I was gonna do either Miss Charlene or I was gonna do Miss Cleo.
Yeah. Oh my.
I really want. See, talking about psychics. See,
yes.
You knew. Yep. Okay, so I really wanted to do Miss Cleo because she's been done a time or two, and it's never good. And I wanted to redeem it. I was like, I'm going, and I did it in my audition tape.
Did you really?
And so when you do the characters in your audition tape, you go, oh my God, I got on the show, so I should try to do those.
Right.
But when I got to the show, I don't think I could do it for copyright or I don't know something. I don't think I could do it. So what I had in my back pocket was Tammy Brown. And I was hoping I wouldn't have to over the others because I hadn't really ran it as much as the other ones because she was the only one I didn't do in my audition tape.
I'm so glad you
And
did
so when I did it, I was like, because the reason I did her was because me and my best friend literally would do her on a daily, a at-home impersonation. We all have those that we just run around the house screaming one-liners and stuff. And for us, it's Tammy Brown.
We actually have a lot in common. When I was doing finding out more about you and stuff, we're both from small, rural, evangelical towns with about one stoplight and 40 people in our class.
Oh my God.
So
love
Sparta,
the way
Georgia
you said
is
that.
where you're from.
Yes, and I love the way you said that because I literally explain it that way to people.
Yes. Exactly.
People will say, "Oh, where are you from?" And I go, "You probably don't know." And then I explain it trust me, it's very small. We have 4 stoplights. We have 1 grocery store.
Yep.
We have 1 school system. That's exactly how I explain it. I need you to know
we've got
how
a
small
Sonic,
this is.
a Dairy Queen, and a tackle shop,
And
honey,
see, we
because
don't
they're
have
going to have a
that.
tackle shop.
We don't
you
have
didn't even have the Sonic.
We don't
and
have
the
a Dairy
Queen.
Queen.
Wow.
The only thing we had that was name brand was Subway. Subway, yeah.
Well, because Sparta is right there because my man James was stationed in the Marines in Albany.
Okay.
And so our first date was the Marine Ball there in Albany.
Wow. So
and,
then you're familiar with Valdosta.
Yes, so neat.
Which is next to it. That's where I went to college.
Really?
Yes.
That's
I went to Valdosta
amazing.
State University.
I love that. And you studied early childhood education.
Yes.
Girl, that's another
How do
thing we
you
have in
know
common
that?
because I'm
She
psychic.
did her
I'm telling you, I'm
research.
psychic, honey. I didn't do no research. I just came to my head.
Oh, you just know.
I just
you knew I was going to
know.
say that next, and you went ding.
But I always said if I wasn't an actor, I wanted to be a teacher. I want to be an acting teacher.
As you can see, we've been through a lot of dreams.
Girl,
we've been through a lot of dreams.
a
She
lot
wanted
of
to be a
dreams,
teacher,
honey.
and then she wanted to be a singer, and then she wanted to be a model. And now she's a drag queen, and I get to do all of those things.
You get to do all those things, and you are doing them so well. My gosh, I'm such a fan. I'm still fangirling over here because I am literally such a fan of yours. And I think a lot of that comes from because I had a very, very good relationship with both of my parents as well.
Yeah.
They're no longer with us here on this realm, but they were so supportive of me. And I mean, my daddy was the high school football coach, and you know what that's like in a small,
Yes.
town.
Yes,
And
yes.
my parents were so accepting and so encouraging, telling me I can be anything I want to be. You know,
Oh, I
they
love
told me
that.
that from day one. And I think the same is with your parents as well. And that says a lot,
Yes.
you know.
Like they've always been super, super supportive.
Yeah.
Like even before like drag, whether it was anything that I wanted to do in school, like whether it was running for homecoming king or something like that, they were always there in the
Mm-hmm.
stands, like cheering me on, like rooting for me, no matter like what it was I wanted to do.
Right.
So, and just like you said, like my dad was my baseball coach
Mm-hmm.
and my basketball
That's
coach.
hilarious. You know, my dad was I played football till like the 7th grade. And then I was
Okay.
like, no. And then he was my driver's ed teacher and my Oklahoma history teacher.
Oh my God!
And the typing teacher, and
So
he didn't
many-
even know how to type.
So many hats.
So many hats. You know, when they're a coach in a small town, they're all like, well, I also teach
Yeah.
driver's ed in the summers. Yeah, they do everything. And he would haul hay. He was always doing stuff, but my mom
Yeah.
didn't work. She was a stay-at-home mom, you know, and that
Okay.
was a full-time job. But, you
It
know, she
is.
was a beauty queen, and she didn't like to, you know, go in the
Yes.
kitchen too much.
Also, the genes went on down to you.
Girl, you know, it gets passed down, passed down, passed down. Do you know that's another thing about you? A lot of people don't know about me, but I am obsessed with pageants.
Are you?
Girl, ever since I was little, my grandma and I would watch like the Miss USA, Miss America pageant. And I would always be Miss Oklahoma and make her be Miss Texas. Because you
I don't
know
think
what
she
I
ever did.
miss about drag pageants that they don't have, that they have in the Miss America, Miss USA pageants, is that moment where you go out and say, hi, I'm Kelly Mantle and I'm Miss Oklahoma. And
then
I'm
you
like,
say,
why?
and you say your little tagline or something.
And they all go, hello, I'm Kelly
yeah.
Mantle. And you would be like,
And they're so
you have that
loud.
compound Southern name, so it's fabulous. I'm Angeria VanMichaels and I'm Miss Georgia.
Yes. I'm like, I'm where the peaches are oh so sweet. I'm Miss Georgia. Like, it's like,
We need to get that in Miss Continental. That needs to happen in Miss Continental.
it will. I'm telling you, my favorite thing is, do you remember
my
that
God.
video, that like viral video of the queens in the pageant, like the girls in the pageant, and then they were just screaming.
It gets to Miss
like,
France.
and then she's like, "Ah!"
It's fucking hilarious.
That's so funny because they were all just like so.
Girl.
Like, I just believe that they literally like waited their whole life to scream
I
the
waited
name of
my
their
whole life
country
for
like
that moment, and I only got to do it just now here on the podcast. Are you kidding? I always wanted to do pageants.
Yeah.
So tell me something. Is the story true? At the drag pageants, that they actually like will put shards of glass in a girl's powder, and then they go to powder real quick backstage, and
You
their
know,
face
I
falls
heard
out.
about the
I've heard
the
about
sabotage.
that. They did
and
that in the Miss
shenanigans.
Oklahoma, honey. The Miss Gay Oklahoma.
Are
honey.
you serious?
Yes, they put the shards of glass in the powders and.
Now, okay, so I've never heard that one.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that one, but I have heard, I have heard certain things like you might just graze a girl's dress backstage with your hands that are full of makeup or like something like that. And it's so bad because it's like, what is she gonna do? Like, what is she gonna do?
Nothing.
Like,
She's not even going to know about it.
no.
And that was
no,
your goal.
That's the worst part about it.
And they're going to
don't-
think that she does know about it and didn't fix it, so she's going to get
and
voted down.
you won't even know. She's just, imagine just being on stage and you're just like,
Yes.
I'm Miss Georgia, and there's a big like makeup stain like or like under your tit or something.
That would be me, but it wouldn't have been anyone else that did it to me. I would have done
you
it to
would've did it to
myself and
yourself.
just not even
Yeah,
know.
you know what? Relatable.
Totally.
I really feel like I'm that
I'm way
person.
too messy to be a pageant girl. How many pageants have you won?
I have won 4 pageants.
Yes. That's amazing.
So yeah, thank you.
And you have the
I would say
tiaras and
it's
everything, the
so
crowns
so full crowns. It's so crazy because this is gonna sound so awful, but I don't know where any of them are.
No, really?
No, it's like so weird because like when I was in Atlanta, I was always moving apartments. Like I would stay in an apartment, and after a year, I'm like, I want somewhere else. Like I want
Right.
another place. I want another place. So I was always like moving, and then before I knew it, I was like, where am I? Where are my crowns? What happened?
So you still don't know where they are?
I still don't know where they are.
You moved out here to LA without your crowns, and you
I
don't know where
did.
they are.
I moved to LA with 2 suitcases and a dream.
Hey,
Okay.
listen, you know what? You didn't have room for them. You didn't have room for them because you have
I
more
didn't.
crowns to collect.
Yes,
whereas
yes.
the drag
Now,
race
I'll tell
crown.
you this. Now, the drag race crown, she's safe. She's safe.
Where's
and
she
she
at?
will never. Okay, she is actually still in the box.
Oh, really?
Like after they put it on my head,
Yeah.
it literally like we returned it straight to the box in the wrapping and everything, and I have not taken it out of the box yet.
That's wonderful.
I've been on some like gigs. Like last weekend, I was the Grand Marshal of the parade in Atlanta. And
Atlanta Pride Grand Marshal.
yes,
Congratulations.
thank you.
That must have been so
Oh,
full circle.
It was
and
so great.
amazing.
And everyone was like, "Are you going to bring your crown? Are you going to bring your scepter?" And I'm also going to tell you about the scepter in a minute. I'm so paranoid now.
Yeah.
I'm so paranoid about like losing
Something
it
happened to
or
it, yeah.
something happening, because what people don't know is on my way back to LA, my scepter did not make it back to LA.
Really?
Yeah, it was a whole situation.
Where is it?
Yes. Well, it's
Delta has it? Not Delta Work, but Delta
yeah,
Airlines.
Delta Work has
Delta
it.
Work has
Delta
it.
is like sitting it's like sitting on her little desk for
Right.
very
She's
Delta.
like, I have an Emmy and a scepter.
I have an Emmy and a scepter. No, but I sent it back with some of my friends, and they tried to take the scepter through security, and TSA was like, no. TSA was like, this is a weapon. And I'm like,
weapon?
and I was, so imagine me like getting back to LA, and I'm like, the crown's there, but I'm like, where's the scepter? Where's the scepter? And I was like, I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry, but it was replaced, and I got a new one, and now it is not leaving my home, I swear.
World of Wonder gave you a new one?
They did.
Oh my God, that's
They
so
are
amazing.
the sweetest. They're
Thank you, World of
amazing.
Wonder.
Thank you.
I cannot believe that. A weapon. I mean, listen, every
Yeah.
tool is a weapon if you
Yeah.
hold
They
it
say-
right,
I mean,
so it could be a
let's
weapon
be
if
honest,
you want it to be.
anything can be a weapon if you use it right.
I mean, and today, can we talk about acting? I
Oh my
saw
God, yes,
your
yes, yes,
episode
yes,
of
yes, yes,
Dynasty.
Which was awesome.
You are so good. You're such a natural. I mean,
Thank
you really, really are.
I had my own trailer.
You had your own trailer.
I had my own trailer.
You had your own trailer.
And the entire day, because it was such a long day, all of the cast, they were like coming up to my like trailer wanting to meet me, and I was like,
of course they were.
what is going on? Like I was like, girl,
Yes.
what? Like imagine being on the one show that your drag gets compared to the most. Like that's like on Drag Race. RuPaul was like Dominique Devereaux and all this and the champagne experience and all this, and I'm just like, honey, this is all my like era, my genres, my like I've literally modeled my whole drag off of like that kind of Dynasty woman, and then to get that call immediately after Drag Race like had stopped airing, it was probably like a month later, and they were like, yeah, we got a role for you on Dynasty, and I was like, Are you crazy?
It was such a good role for you on there too, but that's what I mean. I see you in that world. I was thinking the other day, I have always wanted to see a drag trans queer non-binary version of Steel Magnolias.
Yes.
And I want to play a Nell, Daryl Hannah's role,
Yes.
because I'm a total klutz and clumsy.
Oh my God, can I be Weezer?
See, you would make a great Weezer, but you know who I saw you as? Is Claire Ree.
Are you serious?
If you can't say something nice,
Oh
come
my
sit by me. I can
God.
see that Southern Claire Ree. I mean, you would make a great Weezer too.
That is one of my.
But
that
Claire
is one of my
Ree, you would be so
favorite.
good at.
Like that is one of my favorite movies. Like I used to love the part when they were at the cemetery.
Yes.
And it's just like,
Hit her.
you want to hit something? Hit
her.
this.
Hit her. Oh my God, literally some of the best lines from that movie.
Yeah, like that full monologue.
And then when Daryl Hannah's like, nobody move, I lost my contact. Oh my God, I want to do that so bad.
I could drive all the way to Texas and back, but my daughter can't. She never could.
Drink your juice, Shelby. Don't talk about me like I'm not here.
God. You make me want to go watch it. But I'm
I
so with
love
that
that
drag
movie.
version of Steel Magnolias.
A drag version of Steel Magnolias.
I mean, we have drag versions of Golden Girls all over the country, so I
Trust
couldn't
me,
see why
I
not.
just did a tour
I
of the
know
Golden
that.
Girls
I
with,
know that.
with the legendary Jackie Beat and Sherry Vine. I'm much more of a Blanche, but I had to play Rose, and
Yeah.
it was a challenge. That's a hard
Did
role
you
want to
be?
play.
Did you want to be Blanche?
Of course I did. I'm going to push Sherry down the stairs and
Oh my
get
God.
the role. Do you love Housewives? Are you a Housewives
Oh
fan?
my God, I'm such a Housewives fan.
Oh my
but
God,
it's,
Atlanta's literally one of my
I'm so
favorite.
much. Okay, so I started with Atlanta, of course.
Yeah.
And then I stopped for years. Like I kind of got a little bored, and the franchise that brought me back was Salt Lake City.
Yes.
So literally this last
crazy.
season
Yes.
with the proof, screenshots, timeline, all that.
All of it.
It literally was, my child was literally watching it on TV, and I went, what is that? I was like, what are you watching? And it made me go back
shit.
and watch all 4 seasons. Like, I binged watched them all in like 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought New York was batshit. Like,
And
Salt
that's-
Lake City makes
that's the only one I
everyone look
haven't
batshit.
really watched like that, but I've heard it's good. But I love Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City was
love Salt Lake City,
amazing.
love Miami, love Beverly Hills, love Atlanta. Like, I'm such a Housewives like
My
stan
very
now.
favorite like Housewives moment ever. It's from Atlanta, and it's during the
Oh, which one?
during the reunion when Cherie is still having that house built, and it had been being built
That
for like
house
7 or
took
8 or 9 years.
forever.
And then Nene looked at her and said, "Neverland, because it's never gonna be."
No.
She said, "Neverland, Neverland, because it's never gonna be."
So
I'm
I
like,
also have a
"Shut
favorite
up."
line
What?
from Atlanta Housewives, and it's, you better watch those B words. You better watch those B words. It's not gonna be too many of those. You're gonna end up over in the ocean. That is like my like, I swear, me and my friends say, like, every time
Yes.
someone calls me a bitch, and then I'm like, you better watch those B words. You're gonna end up over there in the ocean. By week, like that,
By
you-
week.
like
Girl, the old school
gave
Atlanta
us
episodes.
so much.
Oh my God, Kim sitting in the car with her wine glass and her wine, and she was recording that song "Tardy to the Party."
Oh my
and
God.
then remember the conference room scene when Cherie got into the fight with the guy?
Who gonna check me, boo? Like,
Who's gonna check me?
yeah.
Girl.
No, those were the good old days.
Oh my God, what did I
Those
just
were the
drop?
good
I
old
just
days.
dropped something. Oh,
What did you drop?
I don't know. I just dropped something. I hope it didn't come out of my hair or my head or my tits or my ass or anything. Oh my God. I seriously, OG Atlanta was fucking
Yes,
amazing.
I love anything
And then
Atlanta.
Phaedra came into the scene and switched everything around.
Yes.
And who was that husband of hers that went to jail? What was his name?
I want to say Adonis. Was it Adonis?
Was it
or
Adonis
something
or
like
something
that?
like that?
It was
Yeah.
something like
Oh, he
that.
was so hot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something.
Is he
Apollo.
still in Apollo.
Apollo.
Is he still in jail?
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
I have no idea.
And then Wyatt. Remember Wyatt? Girl, I could go on and on about that show
Now,
forever.
who is Wyatt?
Wyatt was Nene's friend. Remember Wyatt? And he would show up.
I love how they all had a gay friend. Did you realize that?
Well,
like,
yes.
they all
It's
had.
Atlanta, honey.
No, are you talking about Dwight? I was like,
Thank
who
you.
is Wyatt?
I said Wyatt. Dwight.
I was like,
yes.
that does not sound. Yes.
Yes.
So I met Dwight. I met Dwight in Sparta.
Did you really?
Weirdly enough,
What was he doing in Sparta?
He was our grand marshal for the parade.
You had
And
a
this
parade in
this
Sparta?
yeah, we have a parade.
Was it for you?
Do you know what's weird?
What?
We have it once a year, and it's this weekend. I love that
up.
you're bringing it up. It's literally.
Are you going?
It's literally on Saturday, I think.
I love that. I love
no,
they have
I'm
their
not-
Pride Parade the
I'm
week
not
before
going,
Halloween.
I'm not able to go, but we have a festival every year. It's called the Pageantry Festival, and I've been going since I was little. And it's literally that one like time, where all the people in this small town. It's like what was the one from Tu Wong Fu? Their
Yes.
Strawberry Social.
Yes.
We
had
it's
the-
like our Strawberry Social.
We were the pecan capital of the world, and we were right next to the watermelon. They had a Miss
Yeah.
Pecan. I wanted to win Miss
Yeah.
Pecan Queen so bad.
Yeah, see
Yes.
that's us with the Pine Tree Festival, and it would always be the same weekend as our homecoming, so it all be grouped together. So we have
And the
our
floats?
homecoming
Do you have
parade.
floats?
Yes, so we
Yes.
have
It's been always
we'd
Spirit
all
Week.
we would spend all Spirit Week working on them.
Yes.
We'd have like an award for best float. Like,
Girl.
yeah.
And you know what I lived for during Spirit Week, during my little like caged up days, was the Sadie Hawkins Day. So the boys went dressed as girls, and the girls went. Yes, I would live for that day.
We called it.
Oh God! Don't tell me Sadie Hawkins is like canceled or something.
No.
I hope I didn't say anything bad.
I just genuinely don't think that the people from my town even knew Sadie Hawkins. They didn't know Sadie Hawkins.
I don't think I do.
I don't even know who Sadie Hawkins
She was
is.
a cross-dresser, maybe. One of my favorite things in the world I think I've ever seen is you dressed up as the cow. I'm assuming they're in your hometown that we're talking about.
Yes.
For your Drag Race audition tape. Girl, you twerking with cows behind you eating the grass is like one of the best things ever I've seen in drag.
Yeah, and I always tell people, it was very bold. I need you to know, speaking to this camera right here, it was It was so bold of me to do that because it was literally...
It was your winning
because
ticket.
You see the 2 cows in the video, but you don't see the 20 other cows on the side. Like, I kid you not, there were at least like 20 something cows, and these are the same cows that I like grew up with, right?
Oh, so they
like
knew you.
Yeah, they knew
So
me. They
were
knew
like,
me.
that's why the one behind you is just like, okay, here she goes again.
Isn't it crazy how they literally aren't paying? They weren't paying me
care.
any attention. But like I said, the ones over to the side that you can't see, they were so confused. Like, they literally did not stop watching me. I was almost a little scared.
So that's probably why they were away from you.
They all backed up, got in one huddle, and were like this. And I was just like trying to hurry up and do it. Like, I literally took I had a ring light in one hand and a karaoke box, my dad's karaoke box in the other hand, and I'm walking out in the field with a bathrobe on, and my dad didn't come out in the field with me.
Oh, I thought he was taping it.
No.
So you just set up
I
a
set it up on my
self-tape.
tripod.
Okay. But he was standing by his bodyguard.
He was standing at the edge of the fence, like just in case anything happened.
Right.
But he didn't go in the field with me. And now,
in case you were attacked by the cows in cow drag.
Why he didn't just come out in the field with me. I don't know. That's so weird. But yeah, I just like went out there. I was out there for like 2 minutes. I was like trying to do it real fast. I was like, girl, I'm a little scared. Like, I'm about to shit myself. Like, I'm a little scared.
That is
let me go ahead and
I'm sure that was RuPaul's favorite thing in the world. I'm sure that's why.
Well,
and that's why you got cast off of
I've
one
talked about
audition.
it a lot, and I love it. I've literally met the casting directors myself, and they've told me that's what got us.
Yeah.
And that's why now my advice to any girl auditioning is always do something ridiculous that is going to make you stand out.
Exactly.
You want it to be so memorable to the point to where they don't remember your name. Mm-hmm. They just say, oh, the one with the cows.
I mean, even though you won and I went home first, I also got through on one audition. But I talked about Carol Burnett a lot, and I did a little scene as my mom, which is very Carol Burnett, because I knew Rue loved Carol. Yeah. And that's why she tugs her ear when I go home after the first episode.
Yeah! You're such an icon.
You know what? Some people are in it to win it. I'm in it for a minute. Thank you. Good night. So now, wait a minute. So they called you to tell you, I love this story. They called to tell you that you were on Drag Race. Tell me if I'm getting this right, because I might get it wrong.
Okay.
On 4/20?
It was the day before.
The day before.
It was the day before.
So you were already
it was 4/20
celebrating
Eve.
or?
No, I hadn't.
So you hadn't. You hadn't partaken.
I hadn't. I don't want to make this. I've never talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it now.
Okay.
Is because I never wanted. I never wanted to like make it sad or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
But the day that I got the call was the day of my first cousin, who I was very, very close to. It was the day of his funeral.
Oh, really?
We grew up together and everything. I've never talked about this.
Oh,
no one knows this.
Angeria,
I've never talked about it because I just never wanted to make it.
Talk about the highs and the lows
I never
in
wanted
life
to make it like a sad thing. But to this day, I just and I had to sing at his funeral. I sung at his funeral earlier that day, so it was such an emotional day for me. And then later on that night, I got the call. I actually missed their call, and then I go to my bedroom, and there it is, missed call from California. And I'm like, there's no other reason why someone from California would be calling me right now. And they called, and I immediately, I checked the voicemail. I still have it. I keep it. I keep the voicemail. And it's literally, hey, it's the producers of Drag Race. Call us back. And that's all they said. And I literally ran in to the room with my mom, and I go, I think this is it. I'll be right back. So I go run outside where there's nobody.
Wow.
Like outside. Like, yeah, where we live is very empty.
Except for cows.
Except for the cows. But they were in the barn by then.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm pretty sure even they could hear me screaming. That's how loud I was screaming outside when I got off the phone.
Amazing.
Like so yeah, it was a whole, but that's why I said it was a whole day of emotions, though, because that's what my day was like. So the very next day was 420. And I did something I should not have done, which was I smoked some very, very, very good weed.
Yes.
I did. It was great. It was great, but it was too much. It was too much because
it can take a turn on you sometimes when you are just given a huge life-changing
it made me think
that.
about things. Like, I was so excited, right, when I went to bed. The next day, I decided to celebrate, you know, by just smoking, you know, this nice joint, and then before I knew it, my mind was everywhere. Oh my God, so many people are gonna know me. What if I, you know how crazy Drag Race is.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's like, what if I get death threats? What if I blah blah blah? Like, it was so much at once. It was just like overwhelming.
I'm so
and I
happy
literally
to hear
was
you
just
talk about that, because it's so true. I don't know how many times in my
and
life
it's scary,
when something
right?
big comes,
It's scary.
Yeah, you start
and
thinking
you
of
know,
all the
and
things
at this point, because I've been watching Drag Race for you know, ever since season 1, and I've heard the stories, the horror stories, you know, about the death threats and the, you know, how crazy all of it can be. And here I am, season 14, where now we're in the age of social media, where the show is bigger than it's ever been. So I'm like so terrified. I've never been on TV before. I've never, you know, only people that know me are people from my small town, and the people in Atlanta. So I'm like, this is something different, and my mind, I guess, wasn't completely prepared for it, especially not being high. So it all, when I tell Kelly, I took the rest of that weed, and it was a lot. I had a bag, because my brother, who had came down for my cousin's funeral, he brought so much. They brought so much weed, and it was great weed from Louisiana, and I took the whole bag and flushed it down the toilet.
What?
That's how, like, I literally remember being on the couch watching some cartoons or something, and my mind is racing, like, to the point to where I was having a full I'm home alone.
Girl.
I'm having a full panic attack,
and you can't call anyone to tell them, because you're not supposed to tell anyone that you're on Drag Race.
And my parents aren't there, which are the only people that know. They're not there, and I'm literally, like, freaking out. I always tell people I moved to California and stopped smoking weed, which is so crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's so crazy, but I did, and they always ask why I stopped smoking weed, and I always say Drag Race. And it's because it took my emotions through it on that one faithful 420 evening.
That is hilarious.
It made me think about weed in an entirely different
I'm telling you, that whole thing there with the funeral, the loss, the grief.
It was so
the
much.
life-changing moment, the weed.
Which is why I thought it was going to be great to do it, right?
I mean,
which is why I went, this is a perfect time to
celebration,
smoke. But
honey,
once it, like, I don't know, maybe it was
sometimes it'll just find a vessel, and it'll go through the wrong vessel, and you're like, oh shit, now I'm on like worry.
When they say you can have a bad trip, you can have a bad trip. Like, you got to be, you know, your mind has to be in a good place, because if you have things you're worried about, honey.
On 420.
Yeah, 420.
I've never heard of anyone giving up weed on 420. This is actually a first. Usually people will start smoking weed on 420, but she gives it up on 420.
Yeah, I gave it up on 420, flushed it right down the toilet. Yeah.
How many weeks did you have ready to prepare for the show?
3.
I had 2.
Whoa.
Y'all had 3.
I had 3.
That's
yeah.
still not
That's
crazy.
And I couldn't have imagined that at all. Like, I thought it was at least going to be maybe like a month or so.
But
And
you had a
and
little
they said
angel
3 weeks.
you
They
were
said,
working
oh,
with
God.
that you went and lived with and
Yeah,
worked with to
yeah.
create.
My
So
best friend
that's
Anthony.
So good.
My best friend Anthony.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, like you get on Drag Race the first time, especially I'm from a small town. I wasn't doing anything but driving Uber. I didn't have a 9 to 5 at that point. I was just an Uber driver, and
Wow.
I didn't have a lot of money, and I had worked overtime on Uber just to make even a couple of thousand
Wow.
because I knew I was being considered for the show. So I was like, just in case, let me say, work overtime and save some of this money because just in case they call and say you got on the show, I need to be able to have something.
Right.
And then they did give us some money, and then. But like I said, the real saving grace of the whole situation was my best friend because he sold every single thing I wore, and then he didn't ask me for money until he said, whenever you get it, take care of me. Until then, you're good. Like he was like, I'm just happy that you want to feature my designs on national TV, and we did it. I went and stayed at his house for about 2 of the 3 weeks, and we literally knocked out my entire runway package in a weekend.
That's insane.
A weekend.
And
Dude.
your Rue Preem's performance, the look was so good. The Diana Ross, the gown, the hair.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I live.
Favorite challenge. Like favorite challenge from that season for me, and one of my favorite moments.
God, it's so good.
And an off-screen moment that no one got to see was RuPaul being so impressed with it that her and I started discussing our favorite Supreme songs. We had a full moment. She goes, and I love the Supremes, and I said, I do too. And she was like, give me your top 5 Supreme songs, and I'll give you mine. And we're literally doing this whole moment during judging and critiques. And it was one of my first moments where I felt like we were having a moment. I was just like
she loves her Diana Ross.
Yeah.
Honey.
I gave her mine. She gave at least 3 of the 5 matched. Of ours, but it just felt so good to have that moment with her. Like, I feel like, sometimes you do the challenge and you're like, yes, honey, I know you like the Wiz. I know you like this. But it's like, no, honey, I really do. Like, you're a fan and I am a fan. Like, yeah.
I love that.
She was like, prove to me. You give me 5 songs. I'm like, oh, honey, I got you. Let's do it.
What are your favorite 5 Supreme songs?
They are You Can't Hurry Love. Yes. Come See About Me.
Oh my God.
The Happening.
Yeah.
What is it? Reflections. Love Reflections. And then Love Is Here. And Now You're Gone. Like, oh, that's
such a
and
good
I could go on with more
selection.
Because I love
oh my God. I mean, I think
God.
one of my favorite, and I don't know if it's an actual Supremes original, but Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Yeah.
And,
that was just in my brain, and then baby. Yeah, like they're awesome. But also Diana Ross can do no wrong to me.
She can do
She's
no wrong
my
when she
spirit
flies
animal.
in that
She's
helicopter in Madison Square Garden.
Like Diana Ross,
the hair, and the
hair,
and
the feathers, the coats,
oh my God.
We're like having a full orgasm over
Girl,
Diana Ross right now.
I could just watch her for hours.
We're just like,
and then
yes.
you know what my favorite song that she does is actually she did this solo years later, and in my chorus in Cordell, Oklahoma, the high soprano girl got sick and couldn't come to the competition, so I had to step in for her. It's the oh God, how does it go? The song that she wrote about about Marvin Gaye. Since you've been away, I've been down and lonely.
Yes, missing you.
Since you've been away,
it's one of my favorites too.
I've been thinking of you.
Yes.
I love that song.
Yes, love her.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So
I'm telling
good.
you, I could go on all day about Miss Ross, honey, the boss.
What other music do you like? What kind of music do you listen to? What's Angeria listening to right now?
Yes, well, it's so funny. I'm more of like an old school diva, of course, with the music I listen to. But recently, I like to say that I've been getting a little, what I call a little Gen Z with my music.
Okay.
Like, I went on tour just recently, excuse me, I just went on tour with Georges, and we're in the dressing room, right? Me and her sharing the dressing room together, and
That's wild.
And I'm listening to her playlist, and all of these songs, it's like Charlie XCX and Ava Max and Dua Lipa and Ariana Grande, and I'm just like, wow, my playlist is a little different from hers. My
Right.
playlist is Diana Ross and Diana Ross, Beyonce, and I went Stephanie Mills, Malara, Lisa
Vogue,
Fisher,
honey.
In
In
Vogue,
Vogue.
Escape, SWV. Like I'm such like 70s, 80s,
Exactly.
early 90s. Like
It was that whole In Vogue era
that
for me,
kinda,
too.
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Aaliyah early.
yeah,
Oh,
yes,
God.
Aaliyah, Mary J. Like I'm very like soul, R&B,
Right.
old school. That's very me.
Yeah.
But I found so many songs on her playlist
You can
that
find the joy in.
I was like, whoa, like I was like,
this.
yeah,
I know, me
yeah.
too.
So
I'm the
that's
same
been
way.
me now.
I love being
That's
turned
been
on
me
to new
now.
music too. You know.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Clean Bandit lately.
I mean, all I can sing around my house right now is Pink Pony Club. That's literally all I can
Chappell
sing.
Roan,
That's all I can
yes.
sing around my house right now is Pink Pony Club.
And I'm a big Ariana fan too.
So
like, always
Ariana
have
slid
been.
into your DMs.
She did.
Y'all are like
She did.
BFFs.
She did slide into my
I love
DMs.
that.
She actually slid into my DMs the first time, and in response to a story I posted of me and Lady Camden, and she was like, "Oh, y'all are so cute together," and I was like,
"Oh, I love that."
and she literally was like, "Oh my God!" Like her brother, Frankie, who I've been with like several times, love him, and he actually like has like had conversations with her like about me like and everything, and so we talked, and she was like, I want to come see, because he came to see me perform one of those times, and it was actually at Heart in WeHo, and we were actually I did break free that night, not even knowing he was in the audience, and he literally made a video of me of him like jamming out to me doing his sister's song on stage, and I'm like in the back of the video performing, and she messaged me after. He sent it to her, and then she was like, "Oh my God, I want to see you perform in person so bad." Like,
Angeria, everyone loves you. I'm telling you, Alicia Keys, Lizzo, Ariana Grande. I mean, everyone loves you, and you're because you have such star quality. I mean, you have such star quality. When you came walking in the Kelly Mantle studio today,
yes.
I mean, the star quality is just like crazy.
Was it oozing?
So you like a good kai.
I do every
love
now
this.
and then.
You don't meet many queens that love the kai, or at least to my knowledge, to love the kai.
Yeah.
I love that. Have there been any others than Lady Camden? I mean, not that I want to get, like.
No, to be honest. I mean, well, there's been other queens, but not other queens on the show.
On the show.
I have been with other drag queens I've actually dated, like
love
drag
that.
queen. Like one of my first, like, I've only been in a few relationships, and one of those relationships was with a drag entertainer. For me, it's the common interest. It's the common interest. Like, we both, I've been in relationships where they didn't want me to talk about drag.
Right.
Like, I literally was in a relationship once where it wasn't that he didn't want me to talk about it, but he didn't like for me to talk about it so much. He was like, can we talk about something else? Like, but at the end of the day, like, baby, this is my life. Like, this is my passion. This is what I do.
This is
like,
what you
girl.
do. And it's a lot, too, for someone to understand and take in a relationship.
If they don't
because
really,
it is so time-consuming.
It is.
The preparation,
and I think that's the thing about
everything.
it, is that being with another entertainer, they understand every single thing. It eliminates that, what do you call it? It gets that...
just the uncomfortability of having to explain
it takes all that out of the room.
Yeah,
like you don't have to.
Do y'all share garments and stuff?
Anything.
Are you all like...
I never have. I don't think I've never shared garments with a lover. However, I have done makeup on
Yes.
on like my boyfriend.
That's
like
so sexy. I
yeah,
love that.
it was something sexy about it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like, you're really trusting me right now, and it was just so. And then and it made me want to make him so beautiful because I was in love with him. So I was just like, I'm gonna make you like the most beautiful thing. And then I was so attracted to him,
Oh my
watching him perform. I was just
God.
like. Wow.
I
It
love
turned me
that.
on at how, because it was his first performance, and it turned me on at how good and natural he was on stage. And I
Right.
was just like,
So can I ask you a personal question?
yes, you can.
Are you wearing the red lace thong right now?
I am not.
No.
I'm actually not wearing any underwear right now.
Oh. See, I got one better, Raven. She showed up with no underwear to my show,
honey,
honey.
it's just pants and tights.
We do a little thing at the end of every episode where we do a little word association.
Okay.
So you just say the first
Ooh,
thing
a
that comes to your
game. We love a game.
Okay. You know, it's a podcast. This is what we do.
You know, it's a podcast.
It's a podcast. Queen.
Kong.
Yes. Orange.
You're glad I didn't say banana.
But what if you had?
But what if I had?
What about a peach?
Georgia peach.
Yes.
Me. Home.
Love that. Pride.
My life. Literally. Yeah, my whole life.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
You're so cool. All right, now we'd like to do a little thing called Queen Association.
Ooh.
Where instead of words, we throw out either drag queens or drag-related things, and you tell us the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Nina Bonina Brown.
Creative.
Creative. Such a
Yeah.
creator.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that mind.
My longtime girlfriend from Atlanta too,
I
by the
love
way.
that.
Yeah.
I love
Like
that.
she's one of the first people to ever paint my face. One of the first people to ever paint my face. And I filmed one of her audition tapes. Just so
Oh,
you know.
really? That's so cool.
Yeah, we have history.
Roxy Andrews.
Snip, snip, bitch.
I love that. I love that. Tracy Martell.
Oh, Roy G. Biv.
She's a royal Roy.
Yes,
G.
yes,
Biv, honey.
yes, yes.
She is. Orion Story.
Oh, my sister. My sister, love,
Love
such
her
a
energy.
yeah, such a
And she
such
was
a,
on your original
like
season.
great, yes,
Yeah.
such a great person.
I love
like such
that.
a great person. One of my favorite sisters.
King Tyra.
King Ty. Oh, first favorite ever. First favorite.
Yeah.
Like my first favorite, drag race girl.
Yeah.
Was like who I was just all in at the TV.
I
Like,
know.
yeah.
Well, you know, shortly after, I think he goes by he, him pronouns, I'm not sure,
Yes.
but right after his initial season, he was in a music video for a band, and I can't remember the name of the band or the song, but it was such a great performance.
All I
It was so
remember
good.
mostly is being the Beyonce performances.
Yeah.
Just used to be so great.
Yeah.
I still
No,
remember this
it's like
one
house
video
down.
that he did, and the hair was humongous. It was like this big red curly. It was like so much hair, and there was a fan, and the hair was just going crazy.
Crazy.
But it was so Beyonce and so
Oh, so good.
yeah.
So good. Willow Pill.
Oh, my baby. I call her Willis.
Willis?
I call her
love
Willis.
that.
And I will actually be with her
Yeah.
in 2 days
Oh my God.
at Mistress's show.
Please tell her how much
We're
adore
both
her.
booked there for the
I love
show.
that.
I will.
I love
I
that.
will.
Her
Have you
Enya-
gotten
her
a
Enya
chance to
bathtub-
meet her?
I've never got to meet Willow in person.
Whoa, and
but
that's correct.
the
You gotta
Enya
have her
bathtub
here.
number.
You
I
gotta
was
have her
like,
here.
That's crazy.
You literally have to have her here.
I want to.
Like, I want to
Tell her to
advocate for
come
that
on.
so much.
Yeah.
Like, I will literally text her.
love that.
I will literally text her
love
today
that.
when I leave this studio, and I will say, you need to do Kelly's
Please do.
podcast.
Thank you.
Please.
Please do. Yeah.
Like,
Tammy
if
and I
you're-
were
you know,
in
some
love with
people
the
you
both
can
of
just
you.
see. You could just see that
Yes.
you can see
Yeah.
that your personality and hers
Yeah.
would just, oh my God.
No, she's so
Yeah.
extraterrestrial.
And she's so cool.
I know.
As a person.
I know.
Yeah, there's so
She
much depth
seems
there.
So
It's
cool.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
bet. I'd definitely love to have her on. Thank you for that. The last queen of all, RuPaul.
Mother.
I love that.
You know, I always talk about how the first time I saw her was when she was a guest star on Sister Sister.
Oh wow! I remember seeing
Yeah,
that.
she was she played the lady at this at the shoe store or clothing store, I think.
Yes. Oh my God,
I
love that.
love that Marjay. I love and I was like, who is this drag queen?
That is
right?
some OG guest star
Yeah,
stuff.
and I think that's what I know for me that's what I've always wanted to be. Right, that's why I want to like act and have roles because I remember what that felt like. That's how I felt doing Dynasty. I felt like for somebody, I'm going to be their first time seeing a drag queen on their regular daytime television or whatever. They're just going to be randomly watching Dynasty and they're going to go, a drag queen? And that's how I was watching Sister Sister. I was like, who is this drag queen?
Well, you know what? Get used to it, honey, because we need to see Angeria
yes,
in more
I want to
acting
do,
roles.
Oh, yes, I want more
From
acting.
ATL to the silver screen, honey. We are going to see her. Ryan, give her a call. We need to see it. Thank you, Angeria, Paris, VanMichaels, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I appreciate you.
I know that you're a busy woman, a reigning queen, so we appreciate you being here. Thank you for tuning in. We know you have millions of podcasts to choose from, and we're happy that you spent this hour with us. Good night.
Wow. Yes. Make sure you watch The Kelly Mantle Show.
And good
Is it
night.
The Kelly Mantle Show? Yes.
Yes.
Make sure you watch The Kelly Mantle Show, okay? It will literally change your life. It will literally make hair grow on your head if you are bald, okay? It will literally help your sick grandma if you watch this show, okay? So just make sure you watch this show, please. And once again, I'm going to say watch this show.
Thank you.
Thank you.